Good afternoon, everybody. Just gone 12 o'clock there a minute ago, so I'm getting this out of the way. One of the greatest memories years ago, going racing to the local track and Galway and Ballinrobe and Sligo and everything, was when a gamble would be pulled, or when a very fancied horse would win, when there'd be a big queue at the bookies after, but you wouldn't get paid directly. You had to wait till the following race after that time. But to see the bookie and he looking down into the satchel, especially when he's getting near the bottom, he'd be rummaging round and he had a big long face on him. As an old friend of mine said years ago, that he was like a goose looking into a bottle, a big long face on him. And the best sight of all was when he'd go for the reserve into the side pocket, when the satchel would be cleaned. That was brilliant to watch. Or if you went into a betting shop and you had a nice wager to collect, when they had to go to the drawer one side or go to the press, that's brilliant. But yesterday, the satchels were cleaned in from a few bookies in Punchestown. It was a great view, pun intended, to see them going down to the bottom and them shaking it and pulling up the last 50s. They were paying out in 20s and 10ers and everything. A great view, 18 to 1, 16 to 1, finished up at 10s. And Classical Dream, very strong favourite, won handily enough as well. And Lilith, over from England, drifted from 6s out to 8s. It was great. Great ride from Rex Dingle. Let the two off like two hares in front, and he stayed third. I wasn't a bit worried about anything coming from the back. The Lilith had ran over 3 miles too before. And I was delighted that it was Lilith that won on one handy. It was one of the main reasons that I left the previous crowd I was with, because I didn't tip it up one day. I did tip it up one day and I came second. And one of the other books said that I had missed a 7-point winning bet by not picking the one that won it. But there was no respect shown to my judgment that day, and I was pigeonholed into mares only races, and only for a left I wouldn't be able to do what I did all week, and I wouldn't be able to have done for Newcastle or any of those. As I like to do is thoroughly go through the races and try and come up with winners, not being just being told target this race or that race or whatever. So a bit of freedom. I've also more time this year because the last 5 years I was manager of the local junior team, and I was manager of the under-17s last year, and I was over the under-14s for a couple of years. And there's a new regime in this year, so I was surplus to requirements. So all in all, I used to keep busy at that. We were at it 2 or 3 evenings a week. So more cards this year, more umpiring, and more time to study the races. And I'm very, very happy. So it was a great day yesterday for us, and I see by all the messages in the comment section that a good few people were on. So hopefully today it might be we went over 20 pints of a profit yesterday. Even if we could get to half that today, we're running great with a great month. Must be well. It's over the 100 profit now at this stage. So long may it continue. The big meetings coming up. I'm really looking forward to getting into them. I love the big meetings and try and pitch me wits against the odds makers and that, like, you know. So it's great when it comes out on our side. As you would expect, there was chaos on the bus coming home yesterday evening. Steve was very busy down at the bar, and the DJ had to be told to turn down the volume in built-up areas because there was a lot of singing going on. So we were out early this morning. I must say that everyone was decked out in great colours. The trendy colours this year, I noticed, particularly this week, is red and green for the ladies, and sort of check jackets for the gents, and it's very jazzy. It was like the Mayo team board in yesterday, or have they finished playing for the year? I don't know. Oh, the green and red of Mayo. Anyway, Paddy Kavanagh from Galway, a tribesman, hit the treble yesterday. Pádraig Fallon. John Lee was the first timer on. He got a yearly pass. Thomas Dudoso was very happy. Michael Clark, he had the wheelbarrow full. He had to park it out the back. and Neil Hazelden, first timer as well. Ross 1B had the double up. Tango Foxtrot was dancing the samba in the parking area, and Breda King was one of the last to get on this morning. She was rushing. She was just after coming from the hair salon. She mustn't have known. You see, Gypsy Brill Cream, or whatever you call him, is the barber on the bus and the hairstylist. Max Biggs made it just in time as I was reversing out. And last one to board was Colin Jones. He was after coming from Scouserland, Liverpudlian. I wonder is he Liverpool or Everton? Let me know. So off for day 5 or off for the races. The first race tomorrow is the cross country chase, 3 miles, 22 decks. 2 favourites in the last 8 run-ins. In the Bulger has won 3 of the last 8. He's the master of the banks, and he has Shady Operator tomorrow, which we had back yesterday, and we got our money back because he didn't run. And the excuse given was transport difficulties. Indy, you should be watching. We could have tipped round in the bus. I have a hitch on it, and we could have brought your horse to the races. No problem. If it happens again, give me a shout. It should be competitive tomorrow. I have no idea the betting. Actually, the 3 miles 1 would probably suit better than the 4 miles yesterday. So that's the selection of that Shady Operator. The 310 is 3 miles 7 chase, 15 declared. It was won by Mr. Fog Patches last year, 11-2 favourite. Since Willie Mullins won the race in 2008, 2009 and 2010, 10 different trainers has won the race. So we could have won tomorrow. I was looking at Glenloe it's by Cave Tara. I think it's well handicapped, even though it's 0 for 8 over fences. It's now rated 125, but to the 141 over hurdles in 2018 when it was 6th to a Great View in that race that Great View won yesterday. It has decent form over fences, and it tries blinkers for the first time, and it was 3rd in Fairy House, so a pint each way on Glenloe. The 350 is the Mayor's Champion Hurl, 2 miles 3 grade 1. Epitante, the former champion hurl winner, it's in his first try above 2 miles. It hosed up in Aintree. A mare in form, I always say, like a good sprinter, is horses to follow. So she's running way better than she was running last year. She's rated 154. The next race is 147. I think that's Stormy Ireland. She was 3rd to Honeysuckle last year in the champion hurdle. So she has travelled once already to Punchestown. She's a 6-5. It's probably the most likely winner. But Stormy Ireland has ran 6 times in Punchestown. 3 wins, 2 seconds, and it fell the other time. So I'll be doing Stormy Ireland without the favourite. You know, it could be 5-2, 11-4, 3-1 in that bracket. But for short prices, Epitante is the most likely winner on its great run in Aintree. The 425 is 3 miles chase, 14 declarations, 2 favourites in the last 8 run-ins. The last 5 winners carried over 11 stone, and 2 of the last 5 runners, they carried 11 stone 10. 2 10-year-olds has won the last 2 run-ins. Brahma Bull won it last year. Donkey Ears was second for us in Fairy House when it was all over a winner jumping the last, but I don't know what happened to it when it was out battled up along by Deafy Blue. It carries 10 stone 10. It wears a first time cheek pieces. So let's go back and try and maybe get that win this time. So we'll go a pint each way on Donkey Ears. The 5 o'clock is a 4-year-old hurl grade 1, 5 favourites in the last 10 years. Vauban, or Willie's horse, won the Triumph Hurl from Fieldor, and it should confirm the form there. It'll be a short price. For people wanting to do a double, probably Epitante, and that one might be the way to go. Where am I here now? Day 5. A bit disorganised today. The 5:30 is a handicap hurl, 2 miles, 3 furlongs, 27 declarations. No favourites since 2008. Willie Mullins has had the last 4 winners at odds of 20 to 1, 14 to 1, 20 to 1, and 25 to 1. The last 2 winners carried 11 stone 9. Koshari won it last year as a 9-year-old, and Willie has 5 in it this year. Fast or Slow was second to Commander of Fleet in Cheltenham on soft ground in the Coral Cup at 2 miles 5. He was 141 that day. He's up £3 to 144. He likes soft ground. I thought that brought out the best in him. Horse was 4th that day, Camprand, for Philip Hobbs. It was rated 140 and it's dropped £3 to 137. Camprand is 4 for 12 over hurls, and a previous run before Cheltenham, it was 4th in the Greatwood hurl last November, and they saved this mark, I think, because they knew it was sort of workable. The ground went against him in Cheltenham. Philip Hobbs hasn't had a winner in a few years, but if I remember correctly, in lifetime I think he's 57 runners and 11 winners and a good few placed horses. He hasn't had a winner for a few years, but he might have had that many runners. Aidan Coleman comes over as well to have the ride. Now Aidan is, I think, 0 for 14 in Punchestown, but 2 places. But we have to go against the stats and trends at times. I think this is a well handicapped horse, and I'm just going to go the one bet in this, even though there's 27. So I'm going to go 2 pints each way on Camprand. 605 is the bumper. 3 favourites in the last 8 run-ins. 6 5-year-olds, 2 4-year-olds. Willie has Ballybay. It'll probably be favourite. It'll probably be hard bet because it's well bred. It's a half brother to Esky Lane. I think we'll have to stay with Willie for the bumper. And then you have a charity race last of all. I don't bother with that. The Guineas is on tomorrow, first classic of the season. The favourite will be hard bet on the figures, and a bit short. And I didn't get time enough to see was there anything lurking, but it's guesswork this time of the year. I don't tend to do anything on the flat unless I have an angle, and I have an angle in the 240 at Goodwood. It's a listed mare's race. Primo Bacio for Ed Walker. The reason I like this is rated 111, and it's entered in the Queen Anne Stakes, and it's entered in a Group 2 in the Curragh later in May. It won first time out last year as well. It was 4th last year, first time out in a Group 3, and it was only rated 79 at the time, if I remember. And they put it into a Group 3 knowing that it was a better horse than its rating, because they could have won a handicap, you'd imagine. So that'll be probably maybe a 2 to 1 favourite tomorrow and have a 2-point win on it. The 205 at Thirsk is the Hunt Cup, the Thirsk Hunt Cup. Astro King, a horse that I followed last year, is top weight in it. But that won first time out last year. It might be worth a pint each way if it's bigger than 5 to 1. So that's it for today. I have a busy day tomorrow. I have a couple of runs in the morning, school or football runs, and Roscommon and Sligo are playing at 5 o'clock, so I'll be heading that to Merkovitz. So it's unlikely, unless I fancy something for the 1,000 guineas on Sunday. Probably go playing poker to Galway on Saturday night, and I intend to go to Sligo races on Sunday if I'm fit and able. So I'll see what I can do. If in the event I might like something, I might put it up. If I don't do a video, I might put it up in the description on this video. I may put it up tomorrow. So look back tomorrow at some stage if I do see anything, if I don't have time to do it. Anyway, thanks very much for a great week. I enjoyed it. And if we have a break-even day over the last 2 days or slightly in profit, we'll have had a profitable week. Great that the bus is flying. Subscribe to the channel. It's great to see all the newcomers. One fella said there he's seen it on Reddit. I think that must be an advertising platform or something. That's good to see. Spread the word. I'll be always here, the small puncher's friend. Be no big wagers to try and make money with me. You see what I can do with the 8-to-1s and the 16-to-1s yesterday. We got 3 11-to-1s and a 12-to-1 and a 16-to-1 last week, and hit 4 in Newcastle. So we're trying our best to keep the small punchers happy. Mickey D, over and out. Bash those bookies.